Woohoo! Oh, and they're off. At some point. Oh man, how do I hide the? Probably can't. Probably doesn't matter. Looks like looks like Shasta's already a little bit behind from text mashing.
Yep, that's what it looks like to me. I've got them synced up on my computer.
All right. Well, the room that they just went through is the climb, the first room. It's about 5 or 6 pretty tight wall jumps up the vertical shaft, and it's probably one of the most reset heavy places during the run. But thankfully, there you get that whole reset heaviness out of the way entirely in the very beginning. Also, it feels nice to start to have a good run with a decent climb. So for the first bit of the game, they're just going to be going through and killing that first Tornado, talking to Adam a whole lot, so there's going to be a lot of text and finding out the plot of the game before they start getting any real upgrades. So for Metroid Fusion, it's pretty I wouldn't say difficult game to play. It's mostly just movement based. So about 90% or about 85% of the game is primarily movement. So they're gonna want to be running as much as possible. When they jump, Samus moves at about half the speed horizontally than she would while she's running. So yes, going running along the ground is a lot faster than jumping, so they're gonna want to minimize doing all that. See, and if you see something that they're doing too, is when they shoot every time that they jump, it's so they can unmorph a little bit faster and have Samus land a few frames earlier, so that way she can start running again instead of having her wait until she completes the entire arc of her jump to land to begin running again. Looks like they're getting their missiles at a pretty decent time, around 323-ish, 326. Pretty good missile time is around 320-ish, 318. But most of that time can be saved based on text mashing alone. So currently they're on their way to the first boss, Arachnus, where they're going to be getting the Morph Ball. So one thing that they might be going for is doubles on the Idor. You can see on Shasta's side that he's going for the Idor doubles. Basically what you do is if you can stand on one of the predetermined spot that has the perfect space allocated for the missiles, you can have it to where you can fire 2 missiles basically right over top of each other and get 2 hits on the door on the same frame.
Alright, so another thing to know about the eye doors is it takes 2 to 3 seconds for each time it opens, so every extra beam that you see is 2 to 3 seconds lost. So that's going to be probably the biggest element of RNG that we're going to see outside of Zazabi and Yakuza.
Yeah, I mean, the eye doors too have two sets of RNG on them as well, which makes them even worse. They have the first set, which is how many beams it can fire, which is usually 0 to 4, and it has a higher chance of giving 1 to 3 than 0 and 4. And the second part of the RNG is for how long it takes for the eye to reveal itself. So based on good RNG, you could get really, really fast eye opens, or you can end up getting really slow and long waiting eye door opens.
Alright, I'm now JC97 apparently.
JC97, you know. Gotta keep it hip with the times. Can't be JC 85 or 95. Dude, be like 97, you know, like
Yeah.
one of the better Windows operating systems.
Alright, so a big difference on what Shasta and Xdragon are doing. Shasta's opting for the extra missile pack before Sector 1, and then this just makes Sector 1 a lot more consistent. Because the thing that you don't want to see is anybody run out of missiles before you get to the eye door, or more specifically be at less than 3 missiles before the eye door, because then you have to waste a lot of time farming for some missiles. And then we use a lot of missiles throughout Sector 1. And then the only way you can guarantee your missile refills is making sure you don't take any hits.
So basically, the way Fusion's item drop works is a lot better than a lot of the other Metroid games. If you're at full health at all times, you're guaranteed missile drops. So by not taking any hits and using just missiles, they can be guaranteed to replenish those missiles rather quickly. But if they take hits, then it's RNG whether or not a green or yellow X will appear. And it also works vice versa. If they have nothing but missiles, they'll be guaranteed health drops. Also, follow Jack879. It's just good advice to take. Alright, so through Sector 1, they're going to be killing a whole bunch of these stabilizers. I say a whole bunch, and by a whole bunch I mean 5, exactly 5.
Which uses a grand total of, well, for our purposes, it's going to be using, we'll be using like 9 or 10 missiles. Because we're going to do stuff with an upgrade later on. But, but they normally take 3 missiles to kill.
So 12.
Well, the first 3 are going to be using only missiles.
Yeah, 4 times 3 is hard.
No, we're doing 3 times 3.
Why? Oh,
for the first
right.
The last 2 depends on how you are with the charge beam.
True. I did not take into account that factor of. Listen, man, it's been a long day and I've been sleeping a whole lot.
You've been sleeping a whole lot.
Yeah, I had to wake up early to help my brother move into college.
Oh, joy.
Yeah, I know, right? It's always great when you have about 7 people in a room arguing about how a room's going to be set up. And, like, not at all the input of the 2 people that are going to be living there. Oh, Xdragon just took a hit on the ladder there, but
It'll be fine.
seems to be okay. Didn't fall too far, thankfully.
And then ideally we want to be leaving the scrap room with 5 missiles, so we can go for double missiles. It's really scary if you're at 3 or 4 missiles trying to go for double missiles, because how how the missiles come out the same. It just kind of depends on what her animation state she's in, and then how far into her spin she is. So it's possible to accidentally do a double with one missile being too high to hit and too low to hit at the same time. So generally, we're not going to see anyone with less than 5 missiles go for doubles on an eye door. And fortunately for them, this is the last eye door where you have to worry about trying to get doubles on them.
Did Jack really changes?
What?
Okay, Jack. I'm just realizing now Jack is now Asian characters 879.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yep. So a lot of the beams, charge beams, are going to be the beam eye cores are going to be pretty much the same. Just a lot of them, you can just find a safe spot and then you'll be fine. And then some of them have more complicated setups. Then I'm not sure what Xdragon and Shasta are going to be doing for those later ones at this point.
Whoa.
Haven't gotten to see Shasta run for quite a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen Xdragon run for quite a while too, so they're both kind of rusty at the moment. They had a little bit of de-rust though, for the past I think week or so, leading up to the match.
Oh, I missed the lead change.
Yeah, they were pretty much synced up for once they entered the stabilizer room. It was pretty tight.
Yeah, because I remember Xdragon had like one extra shot on, was one shot on charge beam had leaving, so about like 3 or 4 seconds.
I missed that. I came back and they were like right on top of each other. So basically what they're going to be doing now that they have the charge beams, they're going to have that thing charged almost the entire time for the rest of the run, while they're going through rooms, because having charge beam charged helps move through rooms very quickly, especially with how much damage it does, because the charge beam is now 2 parts, is the top part and the bottom part, and each part does 10 damage, and then there's also the flare when a fully charged charge beam is released that does 6 extra damage. So if all 3 parts of the charge beam hit, it can do 26 damage total, but you have to be right on top of something for the flare to hit the to hit an enemy.
Yep. So because of that, we're going to be able to we don't have to do 3 shots on any idols the rest of the game.
Yeah, pretty much. That, and they're gonna use that for 2 of the bosses. They could use it for more, but it's really dangerous to go for flare shots on some of the bosses. It's like
and then
really close.
Yeah, and then towards the end of the run, it's kind of useless to do the flare at the same time, because it doesn't really add. Because the flare doesn't really get that much stronger throughout the rest of the game. It gets a little stronger, but not enough to make anything meaningful against the higher HP bosses.
Yeah, it doesn't really scale that well with the. Well, I guess it does kind of scale
a little bit
with the beam upgrades, but when they get wide beam, that all 3 parts hitting will do 45 damage. So it's quite a significant increase from the charge beam that they'll have, but all of the beam upgrades are towards the tail end of the game, because the beams are kind of broken in this one. Let's be honest. I mean, they're kind of broken in the other ones too. I mean, same concept, whereas plasma does, damage per frame. But most of the bosses would probably, I'm pretty sure, would be dealt damage per frame. Only a select few have like 1-hit hitboxes, like Nightmare and like Zazabi.
This could be a really awesome race.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a really, really close one. It's gonna be like Exodo and Boxmeister.
Yeah, this is gonna be nice.
I think they're both like that same level of like getting back into the game.
Yeah.
I think of like D-Rust wise.
Yeah, and then their PBs are only about 2 minutes apart.
Yeah, so it's
and then And then D-Rust factor and just RNG can make this a really tight race.
Oh, absolutely. And I think we kind of assumed that Boxmeister and Exodo was probably gonna be like the closest race in the first round too, because of their seating and how close they are. But I have a feeling that this one's gonna be pretty damn close between these two racers. Shasta and Xdragon are both really good, but I've not been playing a whole lot recently.
Okay, and then both are just grab the bomb, which unfortunately you can't use to bomb jump infinitely.
Yeah, in other Metroid games, you could just use the... Ooh, Xdragon needs to be careful here. He's got only 48 health, and all those zeros do 45 damage. But yeah, the bombs in this game, they have a longer timer as compared to the other games, because bomb jumping in this game would just break it entirely.
Yep, and then along with the longer timer, if Samus has any momentum going on in this, in any direction, it negates any bomb jumps.
In any direction? How do you mean?
You can be rolling a little bit. If you're rolling, hold on, I don't remember. I think you just have to be slightly off the air, in the air. I don't remember anymore.
Oh no! If the bomb is laid, if the bomb is laid in the air and Samus is in the air, it won't affect Samus. I'm pretty sure. But like if you lay it on the ground, then I don't know. The bomb is weird in this game. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, extremely weird.
Like bomb jumping is only used in I think 2 places, and that's in 100%.
Yep, and then the big thing is Samus has to have 0 velocity.
Yeah.
For those to work.
So Shasta's going to be grabbing the safety tank, as will Xdragon, it looks like.
I expect Xdragon to grab it. Nice zero beam.
Ooh. Xdragon's going to have, well, okay. 1 beam's not that bad. Hopefully they don't get horrible luck like I did during my race. Oh, Shasta getting a very early open on Zazabi. Okay, so the way Zazabi works is it's completely random how many jumps that Zazabi wastes. So Xdragon got a really good opening round of Zazabi too. I think Shasta got about 3 jumps on this second phase. Ooh, I think they might end up having the same jump count.
I wasn't keeping track of any. Xdragon missing.
Xdragon, yeah, he messed up the first round. It looks like.
Getting the missiles into Zazabi is pretty wide, but it's not that wide. It's a little bit deceptive because it is a little bit narrower than the graphics appear to be.
And I think every time, with every round, the hole gets smaller. You know, what she said. But the way Zazabi works...
Wow.
I listen. I'm very tired. Anyway, the way Zazabi works is it's random how many jumps he wastes per round. The first round, he can waste 0 to 3 jumps. The second round, he can waste 1 to 4 jumps before opening. And the third round, he can waste 2 to 5 jumps before opening his mouth for damage. And then the last one, he just opens all the time.
Yep. And then, so ideally, the 12 should be the maximum jumps that you have. Unless you do something and you don't destroy a segment.
Yeah, and somehow I got 11 jumps during my race. My first round race. Which is unbelievably awesome. I think that's the most so far, jump-wise, with Zazabi. Or at least for the tournament, is concerned. Shasta is building a little bit of a lead here.
Yep. June's a pretty cool stress getting out of Sector 2.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome wall jumps. Everyone does these rooms a little bit differently, so like not every single runner is gonna like have the exact same strats. Like I know Paul's more when he climbs the room that Xdragon just did with the Skiga in it, he'll grab the ledge, he'll morph into a ball, and then he'll ball jump up and grab that ledge and pull himself up without having to do any wall jumps.
Yep, and then a lot of these strats actually they're only separated by a few frames.
Yeah, so like there's a lot of like diversity of how some of the runners go through the rooms, and what works for them, and it's really doesn't lose or save a lot of time in most cases. So it's I don't know. It's kind of hard to have your own kind of staple for how you run Fusion, but I think that a lot of the room strategies are a good way to distinguish some of the runners.
Oh, apparently Pulse One doesn't do that.
What do you mean he doesn't do it? I've seen him do it.
It only loses time if you fall or do it wrong.
True.
Which should be the same for all strats. If you do it wrong, you're gonna lose time. But
yeah, if you do most strats wrong, you're gonna be losing time regardless. But I know for a fact, and I'll go back and watch the VOD, and I swear I saw Paul's Moore do that jump in that room with the Disgiga.
yep, and then I forgot who did a lot of that initial.
During his race.
I think Kirby did a lot of the initial timing for everything. And yeah, I think by his skill level at the time, he found a lot of things to be close to the same time. And then went back a couple of years later and did some retiming myself, and I still don't find much of a difference between a lot of the strats.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a lot of the stuff it's pretty optimized the way it is. I mean, aside from us finding like credits warp or like finding something that'll completely break the speed of the game, I mean, we're not really gonna. I don't think there's gonna be a whole lot of.
We're not going to get anything too major, I mean,
point, no.
I mean, the only other thing is doing a bunch of adding more frame perfect stuff into it, or doing stuff that just kind of relies on great RNG.
Well, I mean, there's always 2016 strats, which is
Jagger strats.
Jagger strats.
Or have the strats of Jagger.
During my first race, I kind of went for everything, and the one thing I completely forgot to do, which I'm a little upset about, was I did not go for reverse Ceres tank, and it just completely slipped my mind. But I got reverse ice. I got that unpause buffered, but that messed up.
Yeah.
So like Jagger strats are like pretty good, but
yep. And then this little ouch room, and it can be a bit tricky if things get out of hand.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's kind of... Ooh, I think Shasta missed the first hit. I think he only just got the flare on Saris.
We'll see. So basically on Saris...
He hit both. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually pretty wide too. That was a nice fight.
Oh, it was a really good fight. You got really good RNG. So basically with Saris, he has 50 health, and like before when we were talking about the charge beam, you can have all 3 parts hit. So basically what you want to do is when the start of the fight starts, you want to go to the far left of the room or the ladder, or where Xdragon is hanging, and you can basically get a free hit on Saris because he does the same pattern every single time.
On the open.
On the open. But then after that, it's a kind of a crapshoot. But you basically the principle is you want to hit Saris with 2 fully charge beams directly in the face, so that all 3 parts, both parts of the charge beam on the flare hit, to do 52 damage.
Yep,
and essentially kill him in 2 hits.
Yep, because Saris has 50 HP.
Yeah.
So you can't miss any parts and still get it.
Ooh. Xdragon. I think both of them missed the second double.
Yeah.
They each got a double.
And then
that too.
And then Saris is probably one of the hardest ones to get doubles on. So basically on doubles is, well, at the start of each, when the X is forming, you can get missiles that go through the hitbox before it actually forms. So we try to get 2 missiles that are in the middle of the hitbox, the frame it forms, and you can get double damage at the same when that happens. And then from there, we try to lure it. And then the core basically just follows you around a little bit, and then it turns around by doing a nice little loop. So with good movements, you can get the core to come around at the right time for you to shoot 2 missiles, so the hitbox collides with them at the same time. and then a lot of it's pretty tight. And then there's also another mechanic with the core axes is where you kill the position you kill the core X in matters a big deal. It can cost you anywhere from it can cost you up to 5 seconds or so just waiting on for the ability to be grabbed. There's a perfect location that if you kill it, you can just grab it immediately. Else, it'll just kind of hover in place for like a few seconds before you can grab it.
Yeah, and that one spot, the sweet spot for the item pickup for those fights is always set in basically the middle of the room. But what you can do is, if you can get it directly horizontal, vertical, or diagonal to its spawn point, it'll basically just float right to it and snap and become a pick-upable immediately. If pick-upable is a word, which I don't think it is. But yeah, you can pick it up almost immediately once it hits that spot without floating around.
All you have to do is get pick-upable to be used and pressed for 5 years, and it'll be added to the dictionary.
Oh man, that seems like far too long.
Oh, you got schooled by Polesmore. Obtainable.
Oh man. Obtainable.
Collectible.
Hold on, wait.
I think I like obtainable more for this situation.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they mean the same thing, but connotations.
JC, can you please beat Polesmore tomorrow?
Okay. Polesmore doing 0% tomorrow.
Yeah, do 0% for your any percent. It's always fun, 0%. And I think someone during my race, I was looking because I had a hard time paying attention during my race. I was mostly looking at the chat. I think someone was 0% is a thing. It's not very,
So this next missile tank that Shaster's about to run up to.
Perfect segue.
We call him Bob.
Because reasons.
Yeah, because reasons. And then it's supposed to be the unskippable, the developer intended unskippable missile tank.
Quote unquote unskippable.
Yep. But there is either a perfect shine spark that you can do.
Good luck.
That you get 7 frames of error.
Which is about
less than
1. It's like 0.12 seconds. So it's about 12 hundredths of a second
of error, and you have 5. And you have 5 jumps to do,
and they're frame perfect.
Or 5 or you can use a little glitch that pushes Samus into a wall using reformable blocks, and it pushes you inside the wall, and you can just basically jump around the missile tank. Mm-hmm. That discovery made RTA 0% possible.
RTA 0% has always been possible.
Well,
it's just getting the frame perfect jumps consistent.
Let's put it this way: more accessible.
Yeah, it's more doable. I think it's more like you can get more runs of it done. Because Spidey Whitey has always said, and Spidey Whitey still holds the world record, quote unquote, tie world record. I'm pretty sure now for a single segment. Because I believe you were the one who got it. You tied it, I believe.
I tied the end game. And then the RTA I have quite a bit better, mainly because I don't have the pauses.
True, yeah. So I mean, there's no real scale like how close the times in RTA really are because of the pauses. I mean, you could probably guesstimate, but
yeah.
I don't know. I think they're probably close enough, but I'm gonna try to get 0% single segment for HD. Ooh. JC,
what?
That's your name. Can you remind me tomorrow or something to just restream, or not restream, but well, yeah, I guess restream my 0% segmented run, because I'm gonna forget. And I probably could have done it today. I just got really lazy.
Oh, you did an offline single segmented run?
Uh, no. But instead of grinding for a good run to submit, I'm just gonna restream the one with better commentary because you know how I am.
Yeah.
Especially on my own stream, that is not like, other people's
Nope.
streams. I'm a
Yeah.
lot more tame.
Emulator, the best we've gotten so far on this particular run, it's about 15 to 20 seconds faster than console.
What emulator?
On BizHawk with the MGBA core.
Right.
With VBA, it's about 40 seconds to a minute faster.
I think there's an issue with VBA core on some BizHawks where it'll just
No, it doesn't.
it has like an audio glitch to it. I think like an audio tick where I don't know exactly how it works because I don't use emulator, but I know a lot of people who have used VBA cores with
Yeah,
BizHawk. They've reported an audio issue where it's just like a clicking noise over and over again.
Yeah, MGBA was a core that got rewritten from the ground up.
Okay. They did a good job because it's pretty damn accurate.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, and then the thing that's actually interesting was a lot of the in-game stuff are actually run perfectly, almost perfectly in sync with console. It's just a lot of the non-in-game stuff like the door transitions, going in and out of the text boxes. That's where you start gaining quite a few frames.
Oh yeah.
And then that's where most of that time discrepancy comes from.
Did Hubert run on an emulator? I think he did.
I don't know. I was at work.
I think Hubert ran on an emulator because I don't know if he actually owns the game. But yeah, no, we're gonna looks like Xdragon and Shasta are gonna be in Sector 6 now. They just entered.
Yep, the big thing that they have to worry about. And then it's pretty easy to avoid the blue X, but sometimes you can get some to be frozen in the wrong spot, so they're just kind of in your way. And then they do like 80 damage.
Somewhere around there. I think it's like 70 something, 79 or something.
And then what's interesting about blue X is they don't do the 80 in one round. They do it in 2 steps. So if you somehow get it, or you grab a blue X close to the door and it knocks you through the door, it won't do the full damage to you.
Really? Yep. That's right, yeah.
I've had that happen a few times.
I've never had that happen. I've always just gotten blasted by the ice axe and just had to start over. Because I'm dumb and I never have enough health. So the one place where you can basically get hit by an ice axe is where Xdragon just ran under. That ice axe can be a little bit lower and a little bit more to the right. And it'll just barely hit Samus's hitbox and she'll get hit by it. Yep, also, the thing you noticed too, or you might have noticed, that they've been laying bombs during some of the item acquisitions. That's because when you collect an item, the timer still runs in the background. So bombs, explosions, and everything else will go off to kind of help save time. Shasta's going to be starting Megacore. Megacore is the other boss that we talked about that we use the charge beam and the flare. By getting inside, they basically are going to be damage boosting inside the core, so that way they can fire the beam inside it to do the full 26 damage every time. And I believe Megacore has 100 health.
I don't know offhand.
I think it's 100.
Yep, and then the big thing to note when fighting Megacore is when you try and jump up to do the damage, to get the iframes to get through it, you have to be doing straight jumps, or also do a pseudo screw attack, and then that'll just eat up your charge you were building up to try to get into Megacore.
Ooh, Xdragon had a little bit of a problem there and missed a little bit of it. But yeah, by doing that, it makes it possible to kill the Mega X in 4 hits. Xdragon's going to be doing 6 hit now because he missed 1 or 2 shots. Wow, how did that even... Okay. JC, did you see how Xdragon killed that?
Finish it off with a flare.
I don't know if that was the flare. He was not even looking at it, and it was above him, and he shot straight to the right. Hold on.
We're gonna have to. Yeah.
What was that? How did
I'm
you...
not sure. I'm not sure. We're gonna have to.
I want to look at...
We're
I
gonna
need to
have.
look at that again.
Yeah, I want to download Xdragon's VOD later on and try to look at that frame by frame.
That is really interesting. I've never seen that happen where Samus was not looking at the boss or anything and still fired it in the complete opposite direction and killed it. What in the world?
Actually, the flare actually goes a little. I'm watching the flare closely. It's actually going a little bit behind Samus at the same time. It was more the tip of the arc of the flare is.
Well, I know it's a little bit like behind the gun.
I mean, it's actually going.
Like
I'm watching this fairly closely. It's actually behind Samus. It's actually ending behind Samus. It's like it's actually making a barrier around her, so she has like a little area right in front of, right behind her, like towards the bottom back of her that isn't protected by the flare.
Interesting. I know that it like curved around, but I didn't realize that because I always thought it died out like in the middle of the sprite.
Yeah, I'm watching this a bit closer. I'm seeing this. I'm seeing the tip of the flare being a little bit behind Samus's head.
That's interesting.
I've never paid that much attention to the flare.
I mean, I studied the flare a little bit, and I didn't realize that it hit a little bit behind as well. That's new information to me, which is.
I mean, it's not something that you. It's not something that you want to rely on.
It's not gonna break the game, but like
just interesting.
Yeah, it's something useful to have just in case you need to kill Megacore that way.
Or if you have a random enemy that's about to hit you in the head that has less than 6 damage to die, so you can just turn the run plays, and you can still use it to kill an enemy ahead of you.
True.
No pulls where it doesn't. It's completely third-party stuff. It's kind of like the little retro clones that have been remade for a lot of the classic consoles.
Also, that wasn't Paulsmore that asked.
Oh, sorry. I saw a P.
I thought so too, and then I recognized it was like, oh wait, that's not Paulsmore.
I see polls were applying.
Yeah.
Sorry, Psycho.
Jeez. It's a lot of the problems too. Is like when you're looking at chats, it's like everyone's name looks so similar sometimes.
I know.
Now my name looks similar to nobody's, thankfully, but still.
Yep. I'm also known as JRP sometimes.
Yeah, I called you that I think twice now, or like I caught myself the second time. Like I go to say it, and I'm like, all right. It's
we need somebody that's good at singing and can redo songs and redo the song moves like Jagger to strats like Jagger, and we'll have a picture of Jagger G every time we do a Jagger strat.
Jesus, yeah. So upcoming is one of the Jagger strats that we talked about, the reverse ice. Basically, this is one of the 2016 strats.
I don't think anyone's going to do that, but
Paulsmore did it, and I.
No, I mean tonight.
But tonight, I don't think so. Yeah, but I kind of started talking about Jagger strats and never really finished. So Jagger strats are like 2016 strats, as we joke, is like kind of like really like hard to go for tricks, like getting out of the Saris tank backwards by single wall jumping in water, or going for reverse ice, which is storing a shine spark on a frame, on a perfect frame, pause buffered or otherwise, and then using that to go up the back entrance of the ice missile data room.
Ooh, and then there's another Jagger strat that's not quite as well known on second trip to Sector 5 that requires another frame per restore.
Right.
Which happens to be the fastest in-game strat by about a second. On every steal.
Right. But all of these strats save exactly 1 second and lose so much more
if you fail it.
If you fail it, and odds are you're gonna end up failing these tricks more often than not. so they're not necessarily worth going for.
Especially during the race. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're just trying to optimize for in-game time, which the leaderboards use, then you can pause buffer everywhere.
Yeah.
But even then, it's still kind of hard with pause buffering. Pause buffering kind of sucks sometimes in this game.
I never pause buffer, and I look down on those who do. Because pause buffering, you really don't need to pause buffer any of these tricks. Excuse me, it's all pretty easy. Though
Well, I mean, the frame perfect stores.
Yeah, I'm joking, of course, but like, you know, I
But
just, I, for
but
me,
pause,
it just,
but
for me,
pause
it just looks
buffering,
better.
but pause buffering for frame tricks.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you're gonna go for something frame perfect, I mean, you know, either you get it and move on, or don't get it and move on is what I always think. Unless it's like something that's like detrimental to like saving a lot of time, then pause buffer. But even then, I think it just looks it looks a lot more swag and
Emergency in GameCube. Really?
emergency GameCube. Oh boy. Well, here's the thing: only one of them is running on a GameCube.
And that's the one in emergency.
Look at Shasta cheating and typing in chat.
Oh my.
He's becoming like Paul's more. But no, my stance on the whole pause buffering thing is I think it looks a lot cooler and a lot more swag when it's unpause buffered. And,
Oh yeah.
you know, whatever.
It
I miss
also
something. I miss something.
it also makes timing strats a lot easier.
Exactly, and it keeps the time consistent, so that way it's like, okay, well, oh, I have to account so many seconds for pause buffering and this for this trick and this trick. It's no, this is the actual time.
Yeah, the only real frame perfect trait that most runners go for in the middle of a run is on your first trip to Sector 3. Just as you break some speed boosters right after you get at the beginning, and you break some blocks, instead of having to run all the way left and you get a new speed booster, you get to that box. You can get a frame perfect store, and then as you fall, just do a spark.
Yeah, and that'll break the bottom block so you can just land and then shoot upwards at the blocks.
All right, so
to keep going.
So both runners are in meltdown now. The biggest thing that we kind of neglected to mention in Sector 5 before that is we want to make sure we have at least 16 missiles leaving Sector 5, because there's a lot of missiles that we use just to freeze enemies in the way, just so we can just kind of get through everything a lot faster rather than try to kill them and farm or just get them out of the way in general.
Yeah, this is probably the most skill-intensive portion of the run, where it's just the most movement-heavy and
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, especially for chat spam. Chats, they got a really good idler luck there.
You got nice.
But yeah, no, a lot of the enemies there's a lot of enemies in the way, and there's a lot of a lot of jumping and stuff that has to go on.
First missile double missed. I think he got the second. I didn't see that quite clearly.
He did get the second one. The second one in that room is pretty.
It's gonna be a 424 escape emergency.
424.16, I think. It's hard to tell because
that's what he got.
For 424.16. But yeah, in that room for the doubles, what you want to do is you want to lead the core to like drag up the wall sort of for the first one, and then you want to jump and like shoot 2 missiles downwards. And downward doubles are a lot harder than upwards doubles because you got to take into account like fall velocity and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, another thing that we neglected to mention on the past 2 missile upgrades, double missiles get harder on each upgrade that we get for 2 reasons. One, the delay between how fast you can fire missiles increases, as well as the velocity of the missiles. So what makes this double possible on wide beam Corax is having a whole lot of room, being able to get a lot of height above it, so we can have room to fall down and get at full speed. That was a nice double from.
I've never seen or used that strat, but I like that strat. It seems a lot more consistent. Off that left wall, it's a lot easier to get the doubles than it is when coming from the right, and the left wall jump seems to be kind of free.
That's something that we're going to have to time as far. I mean, it looks like it'd be a lot more consistent.
Oh, absolutely.
but not necessarily faster.
That seemed pretty fast to me.
I mean, it's like because there's a little bit of extra lure time to get around it. I'm not sure.
Not really. It looked like he wall jumped and then was able. By the time he like ran to the wall and it was moving, it opened up. So by the time he was looking down and firing the missiles, it was open and ready. And then by the time it got back to the wall again, it was already open and ready to take another round of pain.
Yeah, and then the other thing is going with the right on the first double on the right is it does set you up for a better sweet spot. So then I just have to watch it a little bit more closely and see what all we can do with that, doing a double right or double left. Sorry.
I think a double left might be a little bit faster, honestly. Yeah. Probably need to time that, but
we'll do some frame counts later on.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about the whole because the right doubles aren't necessarily that bad. They're just a little bit more tight, just a little bit more. But I can get those most of the time anyway.
Right.
So
I think I always seem to get the double off of the left wall, but I never seen the first one seems to always be harder. But if it's more consistent to do off the left wall, it's probably worth taking a look at.
Yeah. Yeah, but then I didn't see how far right Xdragon took the core before the second double.
Not very far at all.
Okay, so the bigger issue with that is the sweet spot issue.
So Shasta decided to go for the jump extend for the animals. There's two strats for this room. One is the impossible strat, and one is the strat that Shasta did. The impossible strat is, a lot harder to get, I think.
Oddly, I'm a bit more consistent with the quote-unquote impossible strat, also known as stretchy climb.
Yeah.
I used to. It's interesting. You're freezing the stretchies, like the frame that they spawn while you're above them, so you don't have to wait for them to stretch out. And then, which is more important. Then the reason it saves times is because you don't have to wait for that second one to stretch out if you do the jump extend strat.
But it's a little bit more consistent going for the jump extend if you can get it. But
yeah. It's like you don't have very much room for error to do the impossible strat, and then if you fail it, it's probably faster RTA just to do it casually. Just let it stretch out, shoot from the bottom. Let the other one stretch out, shoot from the bottom.
So it looks like Xdragon went for a half, like a kind of shortened impossible strat where he the first one.
Actually, that is something I want to time too. Since it also got this other stretchy to stretch out as he is
jumping to make his way, yeah.
So
I think it's still probably going to be faster to do the impossible strat the original way, but
doing the stretchy climb then the optimal way is still going to be a lot faster since you're not stretching out the other guy. But over jump extend, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
And this is why we like to watch a bunch of different runners, folks. We get see random things that we normally don't see.
Like I said earlier, there's a lot of different strats that a lot of runners do, and like it helps to watch a lot of the different runners do different strats because it keeps us looking at things like, well, this could be faster.
And then other things that I get sure of, well, that's SAS only. Let's not do that.
I'm sorry, that's only JRP's runs. Task strats. No one else is crazy enough to go for task strats, but some people are crazy enough to go for Jagger strats. Also, Jagger, I take it you're probably still in the chat. I'm gonna get you to run 0%. It's the last thing I do. All I need to do is get a single segment 48 and 0%, which is pretty much impossible.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible. It just takes a lot of effort and time that I don't have.
Yeah. I mean, because I still think 47 is still going to be possible with 0%.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And a lot of it's still going to be from just from general strat upgrades since BioSparks 47 of the 1%.
Right. And he's still working on that 0% task.
Oh my.
Me and Kirby have been trying to convince him to submit to HDQ. But he hasn't really given us a complete answer.
Yeah, he'd have a heavy D rush session that he'd have to do.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if, because I kind of already told both of them that I would be submitting 0%. I know that if he submits 0%, I mean, I honestly wouldn't care, because like he's kind of the guy who pioneered it. It's like Shasta's having some troubles climbing up that room the second time.
Yep. And then it doesn't really look like it, but that room that Shasta was having a little bit of trouble in, that's because he has quite a bit of tight timing. I mean, it's not ultra tight, but if you kind of stall a little bit too long, then the crabs start to wreck your day in that room.
Yeah, you definitely increase your chances of getting sniped by a lot. So Shasta's having a very, very good run.
He is.
He's I think he's ahead of his PB at this moment.
It looks like it from right here.
Yeah. So they're on their way now to get back to the ship, so that way they can go to the boss gauntlet. And this is the part of like they're more than halfway done at this point. And it's at this point where it's just a lot of the bosses you're just gonna be fighting through.
Yeah, because at this point, there's no new sectors that we need to open up. No major skills for the most part.
Skills with a Z.
Disease.
Okay, skills with a Z.
Mimagoo.
Yeah. Ew.
Ew.
There you go. I corrected Jagger's mistake.
Odin.
He didn't type the right emote into chat.
He didn't. Magoo is not a meme. Oh, it's more than a meme.
Yeah, it's a way of life for
Yes.
people who, like to follow a cat cult. It's a godly meme. It's at this point that Magoo is just turning into a cult. It's only a matter of time before people start breaking out the candles and start doing chants outside of JRP's house. Some memes just want to watch the world burn.
Just some memes just want to watch the world make you. Alright, Shasta's gonna be coming up on the first boss of the low percent run.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you get. I think it's a 4-frame window to jump over it from running.
Thank God you're talking about the E-tanks. I thought you were talking about Yakuza. I thought you were talking about Yakuza, and I'm like, I hope he's not talking about Yakuza, because that's not the first boss. But yeah, no, that's the E-tank is pretty.
It's a pretty tight jump.
It's a pretty tight jump, but you can get it pretty consistently if you do it enough.
Yeah, you just have to do it forever.
Yeah, it's not fun though.
Yeah. But then the first boss, quote unquote, battle, as defined by the developers, Yakuza can be a bit tough when you're just starting out.
What is with this RNG for Shasta? Like, I don't know if he hasn't had a lot of beams.
Did he?
Also, he's just wasted a lot of missiles.
Yeah. So on starting Yakuza, you have to scroll the screen up in order to actually do damage while shooting up.
Wow, are you kidding me? 0 beams in 1 round? What a guy.
Yep. And then first round of Yakuza isn't really all that bad. It's just a big RNG factor. But then when he gets to the space jump phase, being able to follow it and track it with your missiles, being able to just fire in the right direction, try and then a
Basically
lot.
need to be able to predict where he's going.
Yes, like it's a lot of guesswork and then maybe 2 or 3 frame reactions.
Yeah, it's a pretty intense fight, and it's a pretty like skill heavy fight too,
Yeah,
especially with predicting missiles and like adding velocity to the missiles and like curving them and stuff like that sometimes.
yeah, because not only are you trying to hit Yakuza while he's jumping around, you're also trying to avoid the garbage that he spits out. And then not only by avoiding, as in not getting hit yourself, but avoiding having your missiles hit it too. It's a tough fight to get down.
Yeah, and at the beginning of the fight, Yakuza actually like spawns at the top of the room as soon as you land. So you can actually like aim it up and start firing missiles into his face before the fight, quote unquote, actually starts. But and like you can actually already deal damage to him, which is why the runners are aiming up and firing missiles into the ceiling, or the non-existent ceiling at that point.
Oh, okay. It looks like Xdragon missed a few of the opening shots.
Yeah, he did. He got that, and I think he didn't get enough missiles off during the other round either. Well, he spent way too many missiles on that the extra open. So basically, with the first round, Yakuza has 1,000 health, and he's got 500 for the first round and 500 for the second round. And it looks like Xdragon is really going to have to start using the charge beam on this one, which is low percent strats, which is really tight timing.
Yeah. And then when you switch that, you have to make some really smart decisions on when you're gonna fire, when to just ignore that volley.
Yeah, a good I guess a good timing method for that is you can basically fire up like he'll end up being right over you, and you can let go of the beam and then start charging again, and it'll have exactly enough time to where you can let go of it again, and it'll be ready to fire, so you can hit him again.
Yep.
It's pretty like exact though, sort of.
Yep. And then if you miss a shot, then it's best to wait an extra cycle, or an extra volley before you start firing again.
Yeah. But but once you deal 500 damage or more, Yakuza's health snaps to 500 damage for the second round. Surprised Shasta, he had so many extra missiles that he didn't start firing more missiles faster.
Yep. So for Notori, the basic rule of thumb is you take 48, and then you subtract how many your max missile count, and then that's how many charge beams you want to shoot before you just do nothing but spam missiles. And then it actually, you can probably do a little bit less charge shots still. With 45 missiles, you can probably do 2 charge shots, and then he'll end the fight ready for the core with 0 missiles.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if you don't take any hits while doing that fight, while trying to dodge the plasma beam, not falling in the water, that kind of stuff. It's normally pretty easy to get your missiles in perfect time to... That was pretty close for Xdragon. But anyway,
Yeah.
it's pretty easy to get your missiles in time to get for the eye open, because it takes a while for it to be vulnerable. So we basically like making sure we fire just enough charge beams so we run out of missiles as we kill Notori. Garrison needs a ghost Kirby in his tank.
I can't tell what the picture is behind his timer is.
Neither can I.
It looks like Samus at a test tube, and there's a Dakora.
I see the decor now, yeah.
Something to note too with the Notori fight, if you stand on the very left edge or the very right edge of the platform, be able to just stand on the platform without getting hit. If it's beneficial to stand on the right side though, because standing on the right side will mean that you can't get it. The left plant won't be firing its spores, and it won't be in your way. Whereas if you stand on the left side, it'll be firing the spores, and it can fire directly right in front of your missile paths.
And then, not mentioning the fact that your missiles and all your shots will have less time to travel to let you fire a little bit faster.
Right.
Because you can only have 2 missiles on screen at the same time, which is why we can only go for double missiles and not triple.
Yeah, there's
which would make some things pretty cool if triple missiles are possible.
Shasta got the very epic long shine spark. Every Metroid 2D Metroid game has a really cool looking shine spark, and the one that Shasta got is the one for Fusion. It spans, I think, like 5 or 6 rooms. There's a space boost you can do through there, but it's really freaking impossible.
Yep. And then on doors on transitions where you don't have that little tunnel from that door scrolling with it, it has a little bit faster of a transition. But if you're not going up as you're going through the door, it's going to force Famous into the ground.
Yeah, broken door physics are weird.
But yes, but that's where the Shasta just did. It's a tough spark to learn, but once you start figuring out what you need to do to get it, it becomes pretty free every time.
I think Paulsmore goes for it every single run.
Yep, I think he's going to go for it tomorrow night too.
I believe so, and I really hope he does, and he fails it. And has to walk the entire way while you spark on past him. We'll win.
Ooh. Okay, I need to teach Shasta the fast way to grab that one.
Yeah, shit. Yeah.
Of course, I mean, if it's really scary, especially if you're trying to do 100. When you're trying to do 100%, because if you don't do the unmorph, you can actually do an unmorph and ledge grab to grab that E-Tank a little bit faster. But if you miss it, then you have to fight Nightmare and come back for it later on if you do a 100% run.
You have to go all the way around, basically, just to go get it.
It's really hard.
Really, yeah.
That was a nice open.
It was a really good fight for Shasta. I mean, his placement for Nightmare could have been a little bit better for his second approachment, giving Xdragon a bit more time to catch up.
Yep, he still needs to get about 5 or 6 missiles in to finish off Nightmare.
Definitely. The Nightmare fight, it's the same fight every time if you fight him the exact same way.
Well, not quite.
Pretty much. I mean, if you fight him the same way every single time, you're pretty much going to have the same fight.
Actually, I don't know how the little extracting thing works at all. I haven't looked into that.
It's a free-floating dot that's just, I believe it follows a
I'm not sure there's
path.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's any RNG on that on like where it starts or not.
Because most of the time, if you fight him the same exact way and get the same exact timing for him, I guess, where if you hit him perfectly each time, well, not technically perfectly, but if you're able to do the first 2 phases pretty quickly, and the second phase should be, or the third phase should be relatively similar when he first disengages from his hover path.
Yeah.
He'll usually fly down right, I think, before following Samus. Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, so the big thing that you really don't want to see from Nightmare as far as trying to go fast is, I think you don't want to see him to go right, because then it takes a little bit longer for him to get into a position where he can stop.
I've actually been studying Nightmare a whole lot from doing 0%. And I think I have a theory of when he actually will stop. And I'm pretty sure he'll stop more like when the screen is not moving, because there's a little slight you can like see it can move slightly left and right.
Yes, like the big thing is you don't want him to go off screen if you want him to stop.
Yeah, if you want to like if that screen move like scrolls at all, he won't stop when he comes back. So you want to be able to keep him like on screen in entirety.
Yeah. So another thing, So we
Good
tried to
fight from Xdragon. Wow.
that was really nice stop.
I feel like there was something I should have I was about to mention, but I just didn't.
But
I
either way,
forgot.
but so there's 2 key points that you need to know about trying to stop Nightmare. One is don't keep that. Make sure you don't have Nightmare fly off the screen. Then he'll never stop, and then he will never stop immediately. So if he goes straight right and he goes to a spot where you could potentially stop, he's not going to stop that first pass. And then a general strat to get Nightmare to stop is just kind of space jump in the middle of the room. And then if you have the charge beam going and you're doing the space jump, you'll be doing pseudo skirt attack again.
Oh, Xdragon.
And then he didn't go quite far enough.
Yeah, I noticed it immediately. He stopped
Yeah, I'm a few seconds behind you.
Yeah, I think 1 or 2, I think. That's fine though. It's no big deal.
Yep, and then one of the things that's an easier thing to learn as far as trying to get a little bit faster time. It's just learning exactly how far away you need to be in order to get the required speed boosters in time.
Mm-hmm.
And then something that you see a lot of newer runners do, or more casual people do, is let's take that little deal going to Sector 4 from Sector 5. Is a lot of people like to go like almost to the door on the left side to try and get that speed booster, where you just barely need to be a couple towers right over from where the pirate spawns, and you get it just in time. So a lot of extra unneeded movement is probably a bigger wasted time waster in newer runners.
Yeah. A lot of a big misconception too. With speed booster is that speed boosting everywhere is faster. It's not faster. Shine sparking is slower in some cases because it's got the whole startup animation and bonk animation when you finish, unless you're running against the slope. In which case Samus will keep running. And that's when it's faster to do that stuff. But stuff like triggering like enemies like box, it's faster to run to the spot and then turn around than it is to shine spark, since you'll have to do the startup animation, go past the entire trigger, and then
run
bonk,
back.
and then run back. Yeah.
That was a nice pace boost from Shasta.
Oh yeah. This game is just—it's so it's so dense with information, and you just blow through it so quickly. It's sometimes really hard to keep up.
Oh yeah.
After a while, like, I don't know about you, but it's just after a while, it's just like, oh Jesus, it becomes tedious to have to try to keep up with all this stuff that's going by. And it's Jesus. That's why most of the time, like, we'll be kind of trailing off on like little tangents. So, like, it's not just information, like, the entirety of the run.
Oh, something that we probably should have mentioned the first trip through Sector 2 is, and that's 2, but 6 is those little puffers that shoot the little poison gas. Most enemies in the game have 2 different RNGs, at least initial RNGs, like they would go one direction or the other. Puffers, they can go in 4 different directions, and then we have a lot of strats that try to account for all the RNG at the same time. So we try to not to do as much reacting to different room patterns as trying to go with one plan that takes care of everything. But with puffers going all over the place, that gets kind of hard to do when you're traveling through Sector 6.
Yeah. Well, Shasta had a bit of a rough going when fighting Box a little bit, it seems. Hopefully he does not die to Box 2.
Yeah.
Xbox. Because that would be terrible. Or the Wave Beam X, I think, was what got me.
Yeah, but then...
Oh.
and then the thing about the box fight... Oh. About the box fights, both of them is... those are probably one of the more consistent fights that you can find. they're all because all box only reacts to what you do.
Yeah. Basically, if you when you damage box, he'll begin jumping around. And if he jumps twice the second time and starts firing missiles, the other time he will hop once and then do a fireball thing, a fire pillar bomb, whatever the hell that thing is. Ooh, Xdragon needs to be careful a little bit here. Not really, because I don't think the slug will do anywhere close to enough damage, but he does have this. He has those 6 blue X coming up as well, which is basically free health.
Yep. And then that's basically your refill. Yeah, both the box fights are the only 2 boss fights that don't give you a red X before you fight them.
Yeah. I think there's another boss fight too that does it, but I don't remember.
Well
oh, there's 2 other ones. It's Omega and Sax. They don't give you red X before entering that room.
But you do get a refill on Omega anyway.
True. It's kind of forced.
Yeah, that one's forced. And then Sax is the only one that you don't. Other one you don't get any refills at all for.
I feel like there's another one, but it's escaping me.
First Horned.
That energy tank in the hallway.
Alright, so Shasta decided to be a jerk and blow off half the part of the place.
Killed Adam.
Yeah, we like that sector.
Yeah. Sector 0, that's where all the Metroids are.
And then Adam gets all pissed and he's like, "Why'd you do that?"
Well, he died. The reason he got so mad is he had angry computerized flashbacks. Other MS can. You don't know it. Right, Jagger?
Ooh, Xdragon barely got that first missile in before he lost that vulnerability period.
Yeah. At least neither of them died to
That's all that matters.
Xbox. Yeah, that's all that matters.
Okay, Shasta's working his way over to Ridley right now.
Working the shaft.
Working the shaft.
Ooh.
Rolling deep.
Look at all there's Genesis on the floor. Okay, so the Golden Pirates. Okay, so the Golden Pirates, for whatever reason, they don't. You have to shoot them in the back to kill them, but for whatever reason, you don't have to. The game doesn't check for hitbox detection. It checks to see if you're facing the same direction as the Gold Pirates. So you can shoot a wave beam right at their front and then turn around pretty quickly, and it'll pass right through them and kill them. It's really dumb.
Did Shasta get any beams this run?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. I've had to, like, pay close attention to it because every time I look, it seems like he hasn't gotten any. I think he's gotten some in the very beginning.
Yeah,
and
I think
one or two at the Nightmare Door, and that was it.
Yeah, he's had pretty good luck RNG this entire run. I think he had the 6 jump Zazabi. I don't remember anymore.
I didn't count, but it was something pretty. It was like 7 or 8. It might have been. Because I know his first round was 0 jumps, and then it might have been 2 or 3 the second round. And I think I counted like 3 or something the last one. Oh, no pacifist. I think in my first race I didn't get pacifist, and I made a point of going back and killing the first Ripper, just so that none of them survived.
All or nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, oh damn it! I killed one. I was like, all of them will go, and I got to the other door, and I'm like, that last one survived. I'm like, not for long.
Alright.
time Adam shot Samus in the back. So dreamy. Jagger, please. So Shasta's on his way to beat the game. He's going to try to complete Don't Die to a Sax percent.
Yep. And he's about ready to say goodbye to Adam forever, at least during the run.
Yeah, and the way you say goodbye to Adam forever is by talking to him for about 2.5 minutes on English.
It's a very emotional scene.
Yeah.
Tears are shed.
That everyone's going to be skipping because they're going to be mashing through the text as quickly as they can.
Yep, and then in this room that Shasta's climbing up right now, it's a little bit tricky to get going pretty fast. As you're trying to work your way right around blocks that get destroyed by Screw Attack, which is pretty OP in this game. It's unfortunate that you don't get to see any really awesome use with it throughout the rest of the run. Other than to avoid damage.
Yeah. Alright, Resident Sleeper time.
And then, but in that little climb with the pirates, so he's trying to break out of the spin so he can land on top of Screw Attack blocks. And then sometimes pirates just shoot you as you're trying to land, or sometimes you accidentally don't unspin on time and you destroy a block that you want to land on. So Ridley's a boss that you really get to see how much Plasma Beam shines / Wave Beam at this point as well. With Ridley's hitbox being so giant, each shot does massive damage to him compared to the 45 that the fusion missile does. So if you ever get grabbed, you want to make sure you have a charge beam going through him diagonally.
Yeah, and the reason why you want to use charged beams instead of missiles is because the charge beam at this point with wave and plasma, since plasma beam, it does damage per frame. So every frame that the beam is inside of Ridley, it's doing damage to him. So you want to have it be inside of his hitbox for as long as possible. I forgot to mention that. Oh, Xdragon just going for the all death to Rippers strat. If none alive.
Alright, say K by Adam.
Good. To Frank your face Z to post memes. Alright, so Shasta's on an elevator. You know, it's going up slowly. And if anyone was watching on Tuesday, I think? No, yesterday. That race was yesterday, wasn't it? If you were watching that race early as balls in the morning, you would know that no lead is safe. So it's very possible that Shasta, while he's in the lead, could possibly die at any point until the end of the game.
And he could also soft lock during the next fight.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird too how like Fusion has like the better boss fights, I think, of most Metroid game, like 2D Metroids. But like when you get to the final boss, you can stun lock both final bosses basically and kill them at the one phase in 2 hits, which is a little bit of a kind of like really. But another thing too is that this is the only boss in the game. Well, yeah, this is the only boss in the game that you actually soft lock to, which is Sax.
Well,
Sax's second form.
I'm not sure if you can actually soft lock to Ridley and Yakuza if they take you out of bounds.
As long as you can kill them, you can't soft lock because it depends on where they knock you out of bounds. I've been knocked out of bounds by Ridley plenty of times, but I end up killing him and will fall, like get hit by the Corax and be knocked back in bounds. Very dangerous with this Corax because the ice beam does so much damage and you have so little health.
Yep. So there's two safe strats on this one. The safest strat is to actually just jump and then as you're falling down, start your screw attack, and then nothing can hurt you pretty much.
Whoa.
And then the other strat is you can just kind of hang out on that platform like Shasta did. And then whatever reason when you get Coraxes stuck against a platform like that, they like to shoot diagonally rather than straight up at their target.
I've always wondered why it goes diagonally. Like, it tries so hard to get Samus, but, like, doesn't take the proper path. Like, I think it's because it can't fly straight up because it's not directly below or something. It's something weird.
But then again, this game does take place over right after Super Metroid, where Samus got used to pumping, and then the X parasites, they learn from the host, so they saw a lot of diagonals.
Okay.
So that's why we see the diagonal.
That makes sense. Totally.
Totally.
No need to question that logic.
Come on, Shasta, get the low height.
No, he didn't. Spoiler.
Oh. Actually, it's still kind of possible. I've gotten a few low heights where I accidentally jumped through the door and then I did an immediate cancel and spark. But I think you lost the spark right before the door anyway.
Yeah, just a bit. Come on, Shasta. All you gotta do is kill Omega, and you're officially better than JRP for the tournament. Although JRP is gonna destroy the losers bracket, which is really gonna throw off a whole lot of predictions.
It threw off every prediction except mine somehow.
Yeah, well, yours was the troll one. Oh no, Shasta.
I think he's got
Shasta.
it. Oh, yeah. So he had the right position. He just wasn't spamming. Oh, come on, Shasta. Play it safe. Play it safe, man.
Oh, he got him. He got him.
GG, Shasta. So what we do for a quick kill for Omega is we try to, and then for the easier, more consistent one, you run up, do a diagonal shot, run back, you miss a swipe, and then you line yourself up using a visual cue on the floor where you line up Samus's feet, and then you do nothing but spam your little heart out. And then there's another tighter one that JRP failed to yesterday. It's really tight and it's really hard to pull off. Is you run them to right underneath the Omega, and then you just spam straight up. No need to run back and stuff. But it's extremely tight and can be pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Then I just don't think it's actually worth it to do in a tournament unless you're just godlike with it.
Which he is. I think the main problem with his setup for it was that he took too long to set up and started firing a little bit too late, unfortunately. So when you do it, you really want to be able to get it and like get locked in place immediately, so that way you deal enough damage to where Omega doesn't have enough time to swipe. And when I looked back at the VOD to see, it looked like he was too busy inching up a little bit and got a little too focused on that before starting to fire. Xdragon's on his way down the elevator to go back and to beat the game. Oh.
Welcome, Shasta.
Hello, Shasta.
Thank you. Hello.
Congratulations.
Congrats
Thank
on
you.
the win.
Also
Alright,
PvP for 20 seconds.
I saw it. Congratulations.
Nice.
Thanks. We'll see if it's a 49 or a 50 actually. It's really close.
It might be
It might
48.
Won't be 48.
It won't be a 48. It might be a 49.
We'll see. This would be good if it is.
It's probably a.
I
It
think
might be a 40. It depends on text mashing too. It might be a low 49 if text mashing was good, because I think 122 is the cutoff point for 48 or something. I don't know.
Won't be 48, I can tell you that. I might be using 50 in good time. So,
I'm
yeah.
thinking.
Then, never mind.
Then you're a Game Boy player, right?
Yeah. So yeah, Game Boy player and text mashing. We'll see what happens. We'll have to see in like 2 minutes. By the way, I'm really proud of what happened. That was really good.
Alright,
Yeah,
that was
a really good run.
alright. Xdragon survived the next fight.
Yep, and looks like he's going to be finishing as well. We have a race where everyone finished.
Yes!
All right.
And then
Good stuff. Only 3 minutes off. Nice.
Yeah, it was a really close race.
I'm proud.
yeah, I like this race. There was a lot of lead changes throughout the early green. Yeah, it wasn't until Zazabi where you guys started to split.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Started to really split.
I had just incredible luck in that race, actually, too. Like, especially early on.
I think you had like
4 Idor beams.
Yeah. And a perfect Ceres. Like, that was a 7-second gold split for me.
yeah, that was beautiful. That was beautiful, Ceres.
Oh my god. That
Yeah.
is quite 37 seconds? Jesus.
Yep. I say 37 seconds there.
Oh my god. That's
But I had
ridiculous.
3 to save still. Oh, alright, also, it is a 49! Dude, nice!
Nice, congrats on PB.
Thank you.
Submit that to
that's a mid 49.
Yeah, submit that to the leaderboards, but like, don't submit your video of it. Submit the actual race of it from Speed Gaming.
Yeah, I didn't look record, so we'll see what happens. Good stuff, though. I'm proud of that, to say the least.
Welcome, Xdragon.
Okay.
Hello, Dragon.
Hello.
How'd you feel about that?
It was solidly mediocre.
Still a good run.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Should be 54.
And then it looks like you didn't get a lot of good luck. You got good luck on RNG or anything.
Nah, it was all mostly like messing up on Idors. I messed up on on this Sector 2 boss. Can't remember anymore.
Yeah, it happens sometimes though.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I survived.
The worst thing there is I really messed up Nightmare more than anything. I really messed up that fight a ton. But thankfully I got the E-Tank before it, so it was like still safe. Just in case, but still. I lost like 20 seconds there maybe, you know?
Yeah. Do you know about what your missile count should be when you kill Nightmare?
I do not know, actually.
Yeah, because I think you only had like
7, okay.
well, if you go in with 40, actually, I end the fight with 8 every time.
Okay, not too bad.
Then I spend one too many missiles.
Probably
Where?
probably on the first phase.
Second, probably.
Yeah, sorry, second.
Mine
But
didn't
yeah,
get scared.
but yeah, because I think on yours, like even though we stopped low, I think you only had 5 missiles to go at that point.
Thankfully I got like a few drops afterwards, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I just want to say about that run. My early game log was just kind of insane. One Idor beam on both the early Idors before I got charge beam. And then, like, for Zazby, I got 5 jumps, which is really nice.
Okay. So it was
Nice.
5 jumps.
Yep, it was 0, 2, 3.
Nice.
And, like,
It was,
overall, like, except for one, I think the door for Nightmare, actually, I didn't get, like, max beams or anything, or, like, even ever close to it.
I think you had 2
really good.
before Nightmare.
Either way, I remember one of the doors having, like, max beams on it, all 4 of them. But it was still, like, really, really good. Like, I'm really proud of that one, actually.
Yeah.
And I heard the race is really close,
Really good
too.
one.
Is that your
Oh,
first
yeah.
up 50?
Yeah, it is.
GG.
There you go. You got it in the tournament.
Welcome to the
Yep.
40 club.
Thank you.
Yeah. 50 hype.
What do I get for sub 50?
A crisp high 5 from me at next year at HDQ.
Nice.
You get-
High five for
you
that.
You're gonna get a present from Herc in the mail.
No.
Oh god, no.
He's
No,
like,
no,
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 it's like,
no.
nope. It's like, nope.
I've
I know what.
I've heard the stories.
Your prison is you get to face Dragon Fang in the next round.
Or
yeah.
abortion shark, depending on if Dragon Fangs dies.
Let's see what happens.
Listen, you could still possibly face abortion shark and then have to go on to play Mickey.
Honestly,
Don't pull a
I would-
JRP. That's all he has to do.
Yeah.
Oh god. Honestly, I think
Yeah,
I should maybe
before.
take out Dragon Fangs in this case. I've been playing really well lately.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It
Well,
looks like
then
you've been
here's-
looks like you've been de-rushing pretty well.
Here's the
Definitely.
good news, though. If you do lose the Dragon Fangs, you then get to face JRP. Woo!
Hey,
Well, that's just a fine losers bracket right there. Let me tell you what.
Yeah, isn't that
Yeah.
like the silver lining?
Yep.
oh
god.
All right,
Well,
next
here's the
Dragon.
If you do win, though, you get to be known as the guy who eliminated JRP from the Fusion Tournament. So you'll be
Exactly.
etched into history forever, like Hubert is, being the only person to have ever beaten JRP in a race.
On his very first run.
Thanks.
4 second.
Hey, man, good for Hubert.
Exactly. You got sub 2 hours. That's pretty good. I didn't get that my first run.
He also did something I've never been able to do:
Which is what?
beat JRP.
Oh, okay.
Beat the game.
Yeah, I haven't been able to ever beat the game.
Damn.
I'm still
That's
learning.
unfortunate.
I'm still trying to get my first run completed.
Maybe someday, man.
Someday
Oh, yeah.
we have faith in you.
Someday I can get a game in GEQ as well, and then maybe not die at all inside your race there.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'm hoping. I mean, I didn't die during my first race of the tournament, which I'm happy with. Then again, I was going really slow. It's gonna be like when trying to go fast is gonna be the problem, I think.
Indeed,
Kind of.
indeed.
Oh yeah. All right, so we should probably start asking these guys some like actual like decent questions.
Yeah.
So in a milk chugging contest, which do you two think would actually win that?
me.
Oh hell, me right here. Come on.
Oh, okay.
That's a challenge.
All right, we're ready.
Okay, how much milk do you think you could like gallons wise? How much do you think?
Gallons wise,
Yeah,
at least
take
one.
At least one.
Yes. At least.
Okay. Xdragon, how about you?
Yeah, I think I'd be getting a gallon at least.
I think we should have a milk chugging contest. Honestly.
Okay,
We have a milk chugging tournament.
All right,
I
bust
agree.
out the webcams and replace your game feed right now.
Yeah.
Shit. At this
This-
wolf, I don't have a
This
webcam.
this is the grudge match.
Is it
All
right
right.
here?
All right, so
For
on a
all
more
the marbles.
on a more serious note, what kind of things are you guys gonna be focusing on going on to your next race?
For me personally, I'm gonna try and definitely practice a lot more of Nightmare because I really messed up that fight in here. And it's a fight I struggle on anyways. But overall, for next race, I'm gonna just try and pretty much just go balls to the wall as fast as I can because Dragon Fang's PB is 2 minutes better than mine, and I just got a PB right there, which is 2 minutes. You know,
Yeah.
slower
Yeah.
it is. So I'm gonna try and just go a little more risky and just try my best and just make sure, one, not to die, and two, just try and get ahead of him, which is gonna be hard in itself.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'm not sure he's been doing de-rusting or anything, so anything can happen.
Yep. And then I haven't heard from Dragon Fangs much lately as far as what he's been doing. I mean, I know he was trying to de-rust and do some stuff a couple months ago, or about a month ago now. Then I haven't heard much since then. So,
Yeah. Overall, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping for the best of that race. Then I'll probably get destroyed by Mickey, but we'll see what happens.
yeah. You can see what happens if you try to go to E-Tank 40 missiles.
Indeed.
What about you, Xdragon?
So I have not changed anything in my run since I started playing this game. I think the only thing that's changed ever since I started was I dropped the bitch tank from Nightmare,
Okay.
and that's about it. I have not learned door doubles. I've not learned actual doubles. In fact, I got doubles on Wide Beam, and I had no idea how I did that.
Honestly,
those
you
are
know
pretty
what's
good.
funny? You know what's really funny? I actually looked at that, and I'm gonna have to go back and look and see how you did
And
that
time it.
time it because I think that's the way you did it is is a lot more consistent than the way we do it now, and it's a lot faster, I think, or
I'm not sure.
slightly faster. But
I'm not sure. It's like the only thing I'm worried about is trying to get that sweet spot. Because you can get double sweet spot with the other strat still.
Yeah, you could get it from, I think, the way he did it as well. It's just depending on where the last missile was fired.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a lot of tight timing stuff to figure out.
Yeah. But
So it'll be interesting.
Learn doubles and start optimizing and start dropping some items.
I think
the good thing about doubles is that it's like once you get them down to bits, you do them on every single boss. So essentially, you'll just over time get better at them just because of that, because you have more practice with it.
Yeah, there's so much like practice, like actual practice to be able to do it during a run, which is really helpful.
Yeah, because you don't necessarily lose any time going for the doubles if you normally don't go for the doubles until you run out of missiles or you get a double tink somehow, which can't happen.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I'll find a way.
Honestly, I think you have a good chance of going kind of far in the losers bracket. Honestly,
I can agree with that too. You did pretty well there, honestly.
The hope is to carry on and actually get 50 and, actually not shit.
That'll be good.
I mean, I did get a 53 for de-rusting, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And now I've got a time, or I've got some of the best police that equates to about 51 or 50. So now I just need to be better.
You gotta be better to be good.
Oh yeah,
Gotta get good.
totally. All right, and even on a more even serious note than JC's question, I almost called him JRP again. Pancakes or waffles?
I'm a pancake man personally. I know more people like waffles, but I like pancakes more.
The problem is, why are you choosing?
Yeah,
I like your thinking.
That is the correct answer, I think.
Actually, my answer is French toast, but it's close enough.
Oh, French toast is pretty good too.
French toast is really good. Damn it! Now I'm like hungry, and like I was all ready for bed, and now I just want to go eat.
Well, good thing the Rachel said it, so you have time for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
okay.
We said 7 for you.
Yeah.
It's almost midnight for me.
Good point. It's about 9 o'clock right now.
All right, so what was your favorite part of your runs? Minus your RNG.
Definitely Saris. It was RNG, but I'm just still gonna say I got a perfect Saris and got a 7-second gold split there. I was split work and save about 30 seconds, so that was really good. That made me extremely nervous. Like after that, there's still an hour left of the run, but even still.
Yeah.
The random double on the YP. There was no better moment. It's like, how do I do this? Oh, apparently So then the thing you're gonna find out on a lot of fusion strats is a lot of them are a lot easier than they look.
Give or take.
Yeah. It's like once you figure out what's going on, you just get them.
Yeah.
I mean, Nightmare Spark, that's probably one of the hardest sparks to learn, but once you figure out what's going on, you get it every time.
Yep. And then once you do get it, it saves like a crap load of time, so it's perfect.
Yeah, I just missed mine by a few frames.
It happens.
Yeah.
The backup's not that much slower, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But it's hard to get, of course.
I think the backup is you have a couple frames of store it.
Yeah, just like along the next room or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not much slower.
No, not at all.
Definitely faster than walking across the 5 rooms.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, if you fail Nightmare Space Boost too, if you go for that, then it's like it can like if you ever go for Nightmare Space Boost, it's either A, a really, really good time save compared to the Spark, or B, terribly, terribly slow because you have to walk it. You messed up the Spark. Ooh.
Yep. And then setting up for the Nightmare Spark doesn't cause that much time. It's just 1 second right at the very beginning. You don't actually have to go through the door on the left you started. But then as we were mentioning during the while you guys were racing about it, on those particular doors, you have to be going up as you enter those doors, or you're just gonna do an instant land. And then there's a really tight room, 3 rooms in, that is really easy to mess up.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's generally not worth going for that, especially in a race.
Definitely not.
Oh yeah, no doubt with that.
I do not see enough Odin in this chat.
You know what?
Definitely not.
I can agree with that sentiment. You know what? He's gonna wave at you as well. Look at that.
Nah. I like that.
It's like he's just trying to give me a high five, which he does all the time anyway. No, I'm not kidding. Like he literally when he's trying to like get like treats out of me, he'll like hop up on my bed and like smack my arm. Like he'll like hop up so he's like standing on his like hind legs and then smack my arm and then go back down and look at me to try to get my attention. And like he'll like if I hold out my hand like my palm face down, he'll just like give me a high five or a low five.
Okay, so let's wrap this up a little bit now. So this is the last thing that we've got going for tonight. And then on Speed Gaming tomorrow, the next thing is going to be another Fusion race at 1 p.m. tomorrow. That's going to be against Galamaz versus Trog.
It was a bit of a reschedule from Wednesday.
Yep. And then I'm not familiar with what happened there, but things happen.
It was a time zone issue. I believe Trog had moved and forgot that he had moved from the Eastern time zone to the Central time zone.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That really will mess you up a lot.
Just a little bit.
Just a bit.
Just a bit.
Just a smidge.
And then we're gonna have after that run, it's gonna be Metroid Prime. I don't know the schedule on that one, and then Minish Cap. Then I can't believe Minish Cap finals are going to be this Saturday at 7 a.m.
Yep.
Really?
They're very close to being done.
That's good.
Oh yeah.
Who else to win, anyways? I imagine like Toadswood, obviously.
Toads, I think, and MB are facing each other, I believe, in the winner's semis, and then I don't know about the losers bracket. I haven't looked at that yet.
Okay.
But last I checked, it was Toads and MB, I believe, in winners semifinals or the winners finals.
Someone Kitty, apparently, according to Feasel. I don't know who Kitty is, though.
Oh yeah, it's Kitty and QO. That makes sense.
Cool.
So that's going to be pretty fun. So
not Kitty and QO. Kitty and Wilslow, I believe.
Okay. So thank you guys for coming out and watching this race. Thanks to Mr. Shasta and Xdragon for the wonderful race that we just witnessed.
My pleasure.
And
I
thanks
got bodied. It's cool.
Yeah, you
That's
didn't. Yeah, he didn't do bad.
You can bring it back for sure.
Hey,
I
you
hope
know,
you see
You
you
did
in the
really, really
finals.
well.
here's the thing: you finished the run.
Yeah,
A lot of people in the tournament cannot say that so far.
yeah, and then
JRP.
finishing within a minute of your
Several
PB.
people.
Finishing a minute within your PB is always fun, given how much RNG there is that can just wreck your time in this run.
Well, of course,
Yeah.
execution too.
Yeah, I mean, so to me, anything that's still within a minute of your PB is pretty good still.
Oh, no doubts. Also, you learn doubles too, so like you'll be able to do better in the blues brackets as well because of the time save there.
Yeah.
If you're able to get it, of course.
I'll have to study that. I'll have to study my own accent.
Indeed.
Yep. Yep. So just every W save just cuts off a few seconds.
About 3 seconds. It's every time the Corex is vulnerable, it's every 3
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah, and then just depending on how fast you set it up, but it looks like you got it. So that second double was immediately when it opened. So
Also, triple doubles are most fast times in this game. So
Yeah.
whenever you get that, just scream. You have permission to.
just do a controller drop and walk away.
Indeed.
True.
You don't even
Stop playing and just walk away.
just walk away from the game before it pisses you off.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen a few runners do that. Not necessarily a controller draw, but they get this most random thing that would just save like a minute. It's like, whoa, what just happened? And then they forget to finish the run.
I haven't seen that before, actually. I've seen like pop-offs before, but not like that.
Yeah,
Well,
so like,
actually, the thing I was thinking about, I was watching Yellow Killer Bee do a Mickey Mania run. She got a random deal where she accidentally triggered a level skip that's allowed in other uses, and then it just happened, and she didn't know what to do. It's like, oh, what? Because it's not something that you expected to happen.
That's pretty hilarious.
It's like, oh, that could have.
great.
All right. And then thanks to Fiesel and the Speed Gaming for hosting this and bearing with us.
Also, don't forget to sign up for oh man, what was it? It's a double anti-bingo, I believe it is. For the Super Metroid tournament. I believe that's closing Actually, it's closing soon. I believe on the 27th is when submissions for that
Dang
end.
it, I can't type. I don't know the command for that one.
I do not know either, but I know on the 27th is when signups for that end.
Maybe
So,
this?
If
It's
you
that.
if you want to get in for that, be sure to sign up before the 27th.
Never mind, it's the wrong one.
That's the wrong one.
Yeah. Because the bracket's deleted for that. It's just old commands. Oh well.
Yeah, the link for it is SMNE 2016.
Sorry about that.
That's fine.
Whoops.
Well, at least now we know that.
The way you can just scroll down a little bit if you're watching from the Twitch website, and you'll see it in you'll see that picture, pretty little picture right there.
Yeah, click on that.
Cool.
Yep.
And if you're really crazy, you can do the Mega Man 46 Robot Master tournament.
Ooh. Are like the matches seem like over 2 hours long or something?
I have no idea how long the matches are. I don't know how long the individual the runs are.
It's 2 hours plus.
Damn.
Oh my.
That's pretty cool then.
Yeah, are you joining that one, Xdragon?
I will not be joining that one. I can barely complete Mega Man 5 in less than 2 hours.
At least know your limits in that case.
Yeah.
I only completed the first 3 Mega Mans anyways, haven't played the other ones. I'll get on that one these days.
I'll go back and play 5 again and be less bad.
Okay. Well, I think
Another
that's all. I think that's all we've got. Fiesel, do you have anything?
Ooh.
Sweet.
Sweet. All right. Thanks for coming out, guys, and enjoying this match. And see you guys tomorrow around 1 p.m.
See you later, everyone.
Later.
Bye, Internet.